What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Head-to-Head Battles. In today's episode, we're going to be going over, like, what are the best traps. We're going to be kind of, like, ranking the best traps of the upcoming format in March.
Yes.
So the ban list isn't out yet as of making this video. So this tier list might change depending on, you know, where the format goes. But, yeah, well, let's just get right into it and do it in real time, right? Scene change!
Okay.
Wow. All right. So I know my camera is covering some of this stuff, but you'll see it when you'll see it on the screen anyways via editing, all right?
Yeah.
So let's go over the tier list, right? So we have at the best main deck this-ish. All right?
Which is godly.
Which is like it's godly in the format, right? Next we have side chick, or it belongs in the side deck. This is the wrong format, trash, and hot dog water.
You think we'll even have some hot dog water?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, I think so. The first one here is Warning Point, right? I think Warning Point, as of right now, it's gonna be trash.
It's trash.
Like, it doesn't matter like what format it is. Like, there are just better cards that you would want to play. Instead of this card, right? Because this card basically says when a monster is summoned. This turn, that face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link, right? But I mean, you can still attribute it.
Yes, you can.
And if you're talking about just this turn, if you can't get rid of it, they can use it. It's a body that they can use next turn, or even on your turn.
Exactly.
Like if they somehow manage to get IP on the field past that, right? Cards like Solemn Strike would be a lot better because you're just negating the summon period. So
this
I think
it's just temporarily.
Yeah, I think Warning Point is definitely belongs in the trash category, right?
All right, fine.
Next we have Banquet of Millions. This is a toss-up between hot dog water and trash.
You love this card.
I do love this card, but it's only good in maybe one deck, which is the Grand Magi deck.
You love.
It's got to be hot dog water.
Oh my.
You know. Actually, this card has won me a game when I was playing Grand Magi, but it's only won me that one game.
That one game?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what it does, it basically says banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down, and then banish the same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end phase. Which means, yes, it does fuel your Grand Magi strategy, but they get their extra deck cards back. You don't. So if you use it and somehow they survive that turn, like, you're kind of screwed.
You wanted to use this in Dracos, though.
Yeah, in true Dracos, but the issue is, like, if you don't open this card, but you open Monarch's Erupt, then you can't use Monarch's Erupt.
I know, it's like,
so like it conflicts. So like, I don't know. I think it's hot dog water. I don't believe there will ever be a format where this card is good, strictly due to the fact that, like, you need your extra deck. You need your extra deck. Next on our list is Underdog.
Can I just say something?
Please.
This is more to me.
Okay.
When I first saw this leak.
Yeah.
To me, it was like, why was this printed?
In a bad way.
In a bad way. But then also kind of in a good way. I'm like, oh, are they trying to like troll us finally?
No, it's actually funny because, like, if the effects were opposite.
Oh yeah.
So let's read it. It says during your turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls.
Yeah.
And during your opponent's turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters that you control,
so
right?
Dumb.
It's like, if it was the other way around, it could see some use in a different format. But I mean, it's just trash.
Oh, but it's not hot dog water, apparently.
I mean, it's definitely not hot dog water, but it's definitely trash.
Okay.
All right. Next card on my list is
IO.
Imperial Order. I think this is always like a side deck card.
That's definitely
because I mean, a lot of staple trap cards are definitely main decked if you're playing a main trap strategy.
Right.
But with IO, it's like combo decks don't really use spell cards. If you're up against like maybe Shaddolls or like maybe like even Infernoble sometimes do need to resolve their spell cards. But all in all, I think IO is like a good way to protect yourself from like Lightning Storm and Heartbeat Feather Duster.
Just two?
Yeah, like just like blowout cards that can like end your back row or your front row. You know what I'm saying? Like IO is just one of those cards that's just like a blowout card, and that's why it's currently limited to one, right?
Definitely.
So I mean, IO is just that type of card, right? Anti-spell fragrance. Again, I feel like this is a side deck card. But also, like, it's just we're not in the right format for anti-spell fragrance. It basically does what IO does, except, they just can't use it for that turn. They just have to set it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you don't have to pay the 700 every standby phase. which could make anti-spell better, but I mean, you know, it just depends on how good your follow-up is.
Yeah, there's not a lot of spell play.
Currently, currently, yeah. Next card on our list is Macrocosmos. This is definitely
on your side.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a side deck card because not a lot of main decks can abuse this card.
No,
right?
No, you cannot.
Macrocosmos is more of like a stun card.
Definitely is.
So, I mean, at that point, it's like, all right, so if I'm not playing a stun deck, where else is it useful?
Grand Maji.
Grand Maji. Right? I mean, a lot of like useless cards are oddly good in the Grand Maji strategy.
It's your a lot of hot dog waters are.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not hot dog water because Macrocosmos is a really, really good card. Next is a card for every zombie player. All right.
Rivalry
of the Warlords. So each player must send monster from his or her side of the field to the graveyard so that he or she only controls one type of face-up monster. This plus Zombie World basically is a lock for most combo decks. Because generally, like, you only want Doom King Balladrock on the field anyways with this card. But I mean, it's definitely not a main deck card, but it will always like see some play in most side decks that can play this card.
Exactly.
I think there's always a format for this card. It's not one of those cards like Anti-Spell where, you know, in the wrong format, you just can't really play it.
Doesn't really do much.
Yeah, it doesn't do much. But I mean, Rivalry is a card that, again, it's a floodgate. And paired with other good cards, it becomes a really, really good floodgate, right?
Yep.
Next card on my list is something very similar to Rivalry, but it does the opposite, which is Gozen Match, right? So Gozen Match says each player can control one attribute of a monster. Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. So what does that mean, right? So for most combo decks, even if like all of your main deck is like fire, let's say for Infernobles, the moment they go into like Haki Firebrax, if you flip Gozen Match, they can't play.
Yeah, that's it.
Because now they can't summon anything else but water monsters, right?
Exactly.
So Gozen Match again is a floodgate that you can play in a plethora of decks actually. Like if you're playing pure Zodiacs or like pure Madolches, Gozen Match is a card that you can really play. And oddly enough, even in like Ellic Muskets, they're all lights. You can literally play Gozen Match in like Musket Ellic. A lot of cards can actually abuse this card, especially if their extra deck monsters also play well with their main deck attributes.
Yeah, they just have to synchronize together.
Exactly. Like, and whenever you're deck building, you definitely want to be able to synergize well.
Yeah.
Next card on my list is Peekaboo. There can be only one. This card says each player can only control one monster of each type, meaning like a fiend, a dragon, a worm. A warrior, fairy, exactly, right? So again, like I feel like not a lot of decks main like floodgates such as this.
Oh, I thought this would be the wrong format.
I mean, the format is really good for it right now, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you know, like Drytrons and like Chatals, everything is kind of the same.
It's the same type. Yeah. So this is really good. So if you flip this...
sorry. I got this confused.
Yeah, because if you flip this against like a Drytron, like they can't summon any more Drytrons. Because Drytrons are machines. And, you know, if they summon a fairy, they can't even like tribute or like attempt to Meteon his Drytron into another fairy because you'll be controlling at least one of the types at any given point.
Right.
So there can be only one. It's a really good floodgate. I would almost say you can main deck this, but strictly because like you can't play it in every deck. Because like Subterra Guru can abuse this card. Because every monster in that deck is a different type. Yeah, because Subterra Guru is a dragon. Fiendus is a spellcaster.
Oh, right. We discussed this. We went over this. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. Why is that thing a dragon?
I have no. I mean, it looks like a dragon. It looks like a dragon.
Okay.
Right? The next card on my list is Infinite Impermanence. Now, Infinite Impermanence is definitely a main deck card, but it's almost like in the wrong format. But I'm starting to believe like once the ban list comes out, Imperm will be a main deck staple again.
They'll come back.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the card is just insanely good, right? Gamma technically could be better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, turn 2, you can't really do anything. Yeah. And you can't set it. And on top of that, you have to play a brick.
Yeah, you do.
And unfortunately for me, I see that brick way too often.
Susu driver.
All right, Susu driver.
Susu driver.
Crackdown. I feel like Crackdown is definitely I feel like
deck.
Crackdown is a main deck staple for like most back row decks.
True.
Right? Like we're talking like we're kind of like prefacing that like this is for back row decks.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, like no combo deck is playing trap cards, right? So obviously, if you guys haven't noticed, this is for back row decks, right? Like decks that use purple cards.
Purple cards.
Right. Crackdown is a really good card. When Drytrons were maining Vanity's ruler, Crackdown was like actually a really good out to it.
Oh yeah. As soon as they summon it, you have to crack down.
Right. So it's like I mean not even you crack down the next turn.
Right.
Like if you are up against like a full Drytron board, you can just set 3, try to bait out as many negates as possible. And then play that way. But I feel like Crackdown is definitely a main deck for most back row decks. There are a lot of good cards too, but this is definitely borderline side deck. But I still think it deserves a spot in the main deck. Like I mean, listen, guys, if you agree or disagree, just make sure to comment down below. But let us know why. Like, let us know why you think that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only way to progress this game forward is to be able to have like mature conversations, even in a YouTube comment section, right?
Just put your inputs in.
Yeah.
We read everything.
Yeah.
Next card.
So next card, Royal Decree, or actually side deck.
It's a flop. Wrong format and side deck.
Yeah, I mean because
yeah.
As a back row deck, you're not really playing Royal Decree.
No, it's of course not playing.
But I mean, if we're just kind of like straying away from only back row decks, Royal Decree is a really good side deck card for other back row decks if you're playing combo or like a mid-range deck. Like if you yourself are not playing trap cards, Royal Decree is definitely a side deck card that you want to see in your hand.
Right.
Going first. Because all you have to do is set Royal Decree after full combo.
Yep. Next turn.
And then on the standby phase of your next turn, on your opponent's turn, just flip Royal Decree, or like on the end phase of your opponent's turn, flip Royal Decree. Like they'll literally be sweating, and they might even auto scoop.
Yeah. From Royal Decree.
Yeah, I mean it negates all the trap cards. And if you're playing trap deck, then I mean you're just losing, right? Next card.
Heavy Storm Duster.
Heavy Storm Duster. I feel like right now, this is definitely, this is difficult because with Cosmic Cyclone in the format right now, and cards like Lightning Storm and etc., it's really hard to use Heavy Storm Duster. Man, it's like trash or side deck. It's definitely not the wrong format, but I mean, it says target up to 2 spell traps on the field and destroy them, right? But you can't conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card.
I would say trash.
You would say trash?
I would say trash.
Okay, I mean, it definitely does come up here and there, but yeah.
I mean, hey, if it says like banish instead, then I would definitely put in the side deck. But, there's plenty of traps that also trigger in the graveyard, so you kind of want them gone.
That's true, yeah, with Elec.
You want them gone.
Yeah, Heavy Storm Duster trash. Let me know if you agree with that in the comment section down below. All right, Dogmatika Punishment.
Oh God.
Now
I have a love-hate relationship with this card.
Yeah. Oh man, like right now, Dogmatika Punishment, although it's really good in the Dogmatika strategy, is a card that's being splashed in every back row deck because technically, all you need to do is play 2 Punishment, 2 Entis in your extra deck. Yep. Because you'll Punishment target, send the Entis, and you'll get 2 pops.
Yes.
So I mean, this card is really good, and it is in a lot of people's main decks, whether they're playing Dogmatika or some form of back row deck. So I feel like in that essence, Dogmatika Punishment is like a main deck worthy card.
But still a last resort.
But it's something that you want to use as a last resort. But I mean, a lot of back row decks don't really go into their extra deck anyways, though. So hence, on that reasoning alone,
like even Trap Shadows.
Well, Trap Shadows is a little bit different. We're actually gonna be going up to the card that the Trap Shadows would prefer.
Yes.
But I mean, definitely in like Shadow, in the Shadow variant, you can't because obviously it locks you out of your extra deck until the end of your next turn, right? So, in that essence, is really hard to play. All right. Next card is Trap Trick. And this is definitely a main deck staple for back row decks because Trap Trick basically says flip this card, banish one other normal trap, and then set it, and then you can literally activate it in the same chain.
Yeah, you can.
So That's why Trap Trick is a main deck for a lot of back row decks, because it essentially gives you 3 more copies of said trap, of any trap in your any normal trap in your deck, right? So like, let's say you want Ice Dragon's Prison, right? You can literally just activate Trap Trick, banish an Ice Dragon's Prison, and then directly set another Ice Dragon's Prison, right? And the restriction of you can only activate 1 trap card for the rest of this turn after this card resolve. You can literally activate this as your last trap card and not even worry about that restriction. Yep. So it's huge.
That's gameplay, but you have to know that. People have to think.
Yeah, you have to know that, right? Small technical plays like that. Next card on our list is Paleozoic Dino-Miscus. Now, I feel like this is definitely a main deckable trap card. If you guys don't know what it says, we'll read it together. It says, target 1 face-up card on the field, discard 1 card, and if you do, banish it, right? And then once per chain, when a trap card is activated while this card is in your graveyard, special summon it as a normal Aqua type level 2, attack 1200, defense 0. And if summoned this way, this card is unaffected by monster effects. So I mean,
pretty nifty.
Yeah, like if you have an access to totally awesome in the deck, like this is amazing. Like Paleos, I feel like is a really good deck and is getting a lot of reprints, so the deck is cheaper. So if you want to play a budget deck, try Paleotoes. It's really good. Dino-Miscus is really good in most back row main decks, strictly because it banishes the target. And that's really important because that means they just lose out on that resource completely, right? Like if you Paleo Dino-Miscus, let's say an Ellic the Golden Lord, or a Conquistador that they activated, or a Haquero that they activated, or anything along those lines, then Dino-Miscus is definitely one of those like huge blowout cards, right? Next on our list is Solemn Strike.
Definitely main deck.
This is definitely a main deck, especially in the format right now. With Virtual Worlds all activating in the hand, with Drytrons activating in the hand, Solemn Strike is absolutely a main deck staple. Like, there's no way to even think about this one. If you need some form of removal or some form of like negating an entire summon, Solemn Strike is huge, right? There's a lot of interactions that you may not know, where Solemn Strike really comes in super handy.
No, but I have seen some funny plays where they just use it, they completely forget, because that you have to pay 1,500 life points.
Right.
Versus our next card, Judgment.
Solemn Judgment.
You could kind of continuously use this because you have to pay half your life points.
So time. Even if you have 1 life point, you can use Solemn Judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so by that standard, I think Judgment is also a main deckable card. I mean, you'd be choosing between Strike and Judgment, but a lot of decks actually do run both. Judgment is really good because one, like, who cares if you lose half your life points? Life points in Yu-Gi-Oh is a resource. It's not something you truthfully need. You definitely just need more than 0 life points.
You definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
You could win with 1 life point.
You legitimately could. Yeah. Next card on the list is IDP. Now, this is a side chick check. Wow.
Whoa.
Bleep that out. Side deck card. Because IDP isn't really that great in the format right now. Actually, here.
Really? Banishing?
Wrong format. It's the wrong format. It was really good last format, but after the December ban list happened, Ice Dragon's Prison actually went from main deck to side deck, and everyone was just throwing it back into their binders. It's still a really good card, and it's really good against like Ellic. Like, it's really good against Ellic, and it's really good against Dinos and Infernobles. And if you notice what I'm saying, these are all the decks last format.
These are all very.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because right now we have Virtual Worlds. IDP does nothing against that.
No.
Does nothing against Drytrons because it's probably not resolving. It's not doing anything against I don't know, Subterra Guru. Like, what are you IDPing in Guru?
Guru is this format?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah, Guru is this format?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, IDP is just not the right format as it currently stands. All right. Last card is Torrential Tribute.
My favorite card.
All right, listen.
I love this card.
I gotta put some respect on this name, okay?
I love this card.
My best friend, Pack.
Wait, I'm not your best friend?
No.
Oh my god.
My best friend Pack torrential tributed me 5 times in one duel, and then he Dino-Miscus'd me 3 times.
Wait, what? How do you torrential tribute 5 times? You only have 3 copies of this card.
In a match.
Oh, in a match.
In a match.
I was like, oh damn, Pack's deck.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, like Torrential Tribute is an absolute blowout card.
That's an absolute blowout, yeah.
I mean, it clears the whole board, and especially in a deck like Shaddoll's, if you're deck is really good with board wipes,
oh yeah,
and you plus infinite, there's no reason not to use it.
I love that card.
Like the card is insane.
Yeah,
the card is absolutely insane.
I torrentials my own monsters.
Yeah, no, literally. If you think about playing trap dinos, it's a thing, and you normal summon baby, set torrential, you full combo, but on your opponent's turn.
Oh god, here we go.
All right.
Here
so guys,
we go.
if you guys enjoyed videos like this, make sure to subscribe, like and comment. All right. We have been doing more tier videos because I mean these are super fun and they're super thought provoking, and it definitely starts a conversation in the comment section, and I want you guys to join in that conversation and let us know your thoughts on the list that we did. This isn't final, like by no means is this list like final. Right, so
and we learn a lot from you guys too. We do. The comments, like I read like these unfamiliar cards that I never even knew that existed. We're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're like, what about this card? What about this card? And you're like, damn, this card is broken.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, real quick, guys. We are selling Ghosts of the Past on our website over at headtoheadbattles.com. You can use code DANK10 for 10% off. All right, guys.
10.
So we freaking love you guys. We'll catch you in the next one. This is Susu from Headset Battles.
This is from Headset Battles.
Signing out.